Hi, hello, and welcome everyone to the Scott Norwood Show. Join us for the next few minutes as we take a look back at the week that was for the Ranger College baseball program and take a look forward at what lies ahead. I'm Tommy Wells, and I'll be your guide through the wonderful world of Ranger College baseball. So sit back and relax and enjoy. It might be February 1st and in the middle of winter here in Texas, but as you can see behind me, February also marks the return of the boys of summer. And here at Ranger College, these boys will be preparing for their 2020 season opener in Galveston. Ranger College will kick off its 2020 baseball season on Sunday, February 2nd, when they travel to Galveston to face off with the Galveston College Whitecaps in a doubleheader. The first game will begin at 1 p.m. The nightcap will start at 3:30 p.m. Trip to the Gulf Coast isn't lost on one of the Rangers.
Well, I'm excited. A lot of family members going to be there, so I hope we pull out 2 wins and just play real hard and play good.
Another guy excited to get the season started is head coach Scott Norwood. We caught up with the veteran coach earlier this week. Hey, welcome. Hey, we appreciate head coach Scott Norwood stopping by, spending a few minutes talking about Ranger College baseball with us. Coach, coming into a new year, things are looking up. I know you've got a bunch of new recruits coming in, including a couple of big arms, I hear. And give us your impression of going in.
I mean, we're excited. Everybody's excited about the start of the year. You're tired of scrimmaging and playing each other. But, yes, we've had a big influx, the big roster overhaul, per se. A lot of transfers that came in as well, and a lot of, some Division I transfers that came in that we think will make some immediate impacts on the mound as well. But I think it's a staff that I think we're going to hopefully see some marked improvement on. And I think we'll see a lot more, hopefully more consistent play. Because I can tell you right now, this is a really competitive group compared to comparatives of some of the teams I've had at some other schools and stuff that have done really well. So I'm hoping that translates well. But yeah, we're really forward to it. I got a great new staff that's here as well, and they've done a great job. And we're looking forward to February 2nd.
And talking about, Coach, you said you brought in some new staff. One of the guys you brought in is specifically to work with your pitching staff, and that's kind of a change for you guys in the past, right?
It is. We've had guys that have done that, but I brought in Ryan Turner. He is a guy that's been drafted 4 times, played some pro ball. His family's got some history being in, being a pro scout with his grandfathers with the Toronto Blue Jays, so that's been a big help, and he's been really, really something that I needed and this program needed, and we're really excited for him. And and not trying to, we know how pitching is really important, but Tyler Schweigert's in here. He's been a great job with our hitters, and Dalton Horton as well, who's helping with our varsity program, and also he's our JV head coach as well.
And you talked a little earlier, Coach, you brought in a bunch of new guys. Now, last year, you guys had a lot of one-run games, really close losses that kind of knocked you out. But you guys were in contention for a berth in the regional tournament all the way up until the last weekend of the season. Do you think the change is going to help us move towards that?
I think you always learn from your experiences. So I'm glad of the guys that are returning. They understand what it takes in this league. This is the best league in the country by far. So kids that are looking for a great place to play, this is where you're going to get noticed in the exposure. And I always tell people, we've made some great strides and improvements, and the strength of your league is not always about what's at top. It's how the guys at the bottom work their way up. And that's exactly what we've been doing, and we're on the way of doing that again this year.
You're definitely on the way up. I think you can see the upturn and the improvement overall from top to bottom. You were talking about the conference race coming up, and I know that based on last year, you guys are ranked towards the bottom. Does that give you a chance to shock a few people, or is that something you guys don't really pay much attention to?
I think it's great for us talking like this and giving some people or a newspaper or radio something to talk about and get started. But when it all gets going, I've never been to their practices and they've never been to mine. So they don't know what I have, and honestly, I don't care what they have either. Yeah. So, we just got to go out there and take care of us and our business, and I think the good Lord willing, as you say, cliches, it'll take care of itself.
That's
so
right.
I think we'll have a great run here.
And now, Coach, I know first right out of the box, you're making a long trip down to the coast. You're going to play Galveston College, a really tough squad, and then from there you're going to come back home and face another really tough squad in Howard. So how do you feel about the start of the season?
It was something I wanted to do this year to challenge us. I think we need to find out where we are. I think at Galveston, going on the road, getting it, in a different surrounding will find us what we can do real quickly. And then, like you said, we got Howard actually a home and home. We go there on a Thursday, turn around and do our home openers on February 8th against Howard. So, great program that's had national championships before, and we're striving to get back to where they've been.
And Coach, one final thing I wanted to bring up. You keep telling me all the time the ultimate goal for us is to make it back to the regional tournament. And I'll put you on the spot. How close are we to doing that now?
We're always expecting to make that. So that's what I'm going to expect every year. There's high expectations. I think the players embrace the high expectations. And like I've always told them, once you do it, you'll be the one that's noticed for getting it back where it needs to be. And we're on the right path, so I'm hoping this is a breakthrough year right here.
Well, hey, we appreciate Scott Norwood stopping by and taking a few minutes to talk about Ranger College baseball. Scott isn't the only one feeling optimistic about the 2020 baseball season.
Our expectations are really high because last year we had a great team. It didn't end up the way we wanted, but this year the team's really looking well. We're all communicating great. I think we have good expectations for this year.
As usual, at the start of any new season, there will be changes. And Ranger College will have a big one in left center field. And welcome here to Ellis Burks Field. We're getting ready for the start of the 2020 baseball season. And if you're a frequent visitor here to the field, you'll notice one of the bigger changes this season will be the new scoreboard. During the off-season, Ranger College officials spent in excess of $30,000 with the upgrades here at the field. And part of those was the new scoreboard. And the main impetus behind the new scoreboard was the fact that the old scoreboard, which had served for more than 25 years here at this field, was struck by lightning late last season and became inoperable. So for those people who are making the trip here to Ranger College this season, you will be the chance to see the new digital scoreboard. And there you have it, folks. This week's edition of the Scott Norwood Show. We hope you enjoyed the show and that you'll stop back next week for another look at Ranger College baseball.